Hi, I'm Life Coach Spencer. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about life at work and life at home. I hope my video will give you some new ideas, something to think about. But remember, it's not knowledge or ideas that will change your life. Turning them into action will. Alright, let's get started. Today we are going to talk about servant leadership. This may be something new to some of you. Before we talk about servant leadership, let's talk about leadership. Now, what is leadership? For some, he is a leader because he got the job, the title. He was hired as a team leader or a manager. Therefore, he assumes that he is a leader. However, in reality, leadership is not about position, but influence. Some people can influence others with or without a title. They are the real leaders. So, if we want to develop our leadership, we need to think of expanding our influence. So, how do we expand our influence? In leadership development, we usually focus on skills. We train our team leaders in communication skills, organizational skills, productivity skills, conflict resolution, etc., etc. Now imagine a leader who got all these skills and worked very hard to build a team. His problem is, whenever things do not go his way, he would burst out into anger. He would lash out at his team. No matter how good his organizational skill is, it is not likely that he will be able to keep a stable and high-performing team. So, it's not just skills that we need in leadership, but attitude towards the people that we lead is also as important. And this is where servant leadership comes in. Now, what is servant leadership? It is actually a very ancient concept. We can trace back to as early as 6th century BC with the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. This is what he said: "The greatest leader is one of whose existence the people are barely aware. Next comes one whom they love and praise. Next comes one whom they fear. Next comes one whom they despise and defy. When the greatest leader accomplished the task, all people say, 'We did it.'" Now in Islam, it was recorded in the Hadith, which is the words and deeds of the Islamic prophets. It said, "The leader of the people is their servant." But of course, when people talk about servant leadership, the most often quoted person is Jesus Christ. He didn't just teach servant leadership. Well, it's relatively easy to say something beautiful or impressive or even revolutionary. But more importantly, he lived out servant leadership in his life. This is what he said: "Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be servant of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." But the modern-day movement of servant leadership can be traced back to 1970 when Robert Greenleaf published his essay, "The Servant as Leader." This is what he said: "The servant leader is servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. Then conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead, to make sure that other people's highest priority needs are being served. The best test, and difficult to administer, is: do those served grow as persons? Do they, while being served, become healthier, wiser, freer, more autonomous, more likely themselves to become servants? And what is the effect on the least privileged in society? Will they benefit or at least not be further deprived?" So you see, a servant leader leads in quite a different way than a traditional leader. Imagine two types of leaders. So, leader A, lead by authority and position. "You do what I said or else." He communicates through mostly the chain of command. there is little personal touch or informal interaction. He focuses on performance and results of his team. Personal issues, family issues of his teammates are not his concern. He asks for obedience and flexibility. Whatever he sets, just go. Now, leader B leads by influence. You want to do things his way because you know that's a good way. Now, he communicates through discussion. Everyone can contribute and everyone is heard. He focuses on growth of his team member. Everyone become a better teammate, a better employee, a better person under his leadership. He asks for opinions and creativity from his team. He wants people to have their different opinions and be creative in problem solving. Now, which leader do you want to serve? Leader A or leader B? Well, I suppose most of you will want leader B. And that's the power of servant leadership. Well, there are other advantages of servant leadership too. You'll get, to name a few, greater speed in innovation and change, a higher level of employee engagement, higher identification with the company, lower turnover rate, and better customer service. Well, I know you must have lots of questions about the practical side of things. In the next video, we'll talk about the characteristics of a servant leader, and we will touch on the more practical side of servant leadership. But in the meantime, let me know what you think about this topic by leaving some comments below. If you like what you have watched, please click like and subscribe to my channel. If you need help in turning what you have watched into action, talk to an ICF certified life coach. You can also find out more about me at lifecoachspencer.com. See you next time.